Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. This video is part 3 in a 3-part series that I'm doing featuring the 12 books that were inside this box. This box came to us courtesy of friend to the channel, Octavio, who has once again made his submission to CGC available to all of us so that we can practice our comic book grading skills. Thank you very, very much, Octavio. So as I mentioned, this is part 3 in the series. If you want to see part 1 or 2, I'll put the card for part 2 right up there. You can go and check that out and check out part 1. You can start with part 3 if you want. Watch them in any order that you'd like. Just watch them. I think there's some valuable information in there. So what we do in these videos, for those who have not seen these videos before, is I will show you video that I made of these books when they were raw, before they got sent off to CGC. We are going to assess those books for any damage, any flaws, anything that might impact the grade negatively. Then you're going to come up with your best guess as to what you think the grade might be, and I'm going to share with you my best guess as to what I think the grade might be. Once we've done that, we are going to take these bad boys out of this box. We're going to look at what the actual results from CGC are. If we nailed the grade, good for us. We're doing something right. If we didn't get the grade right, well, then there's an opportunity for us to learn there. I would recommend going back, knowing what you now know with the grader's notes that I'll provide if there are any, and knowing what the final grade was from CGC, and go back and look at the books when they were raw and reassess and see if you can't adjust your assessments so that in the future, when you're grading your own books, you can come up with grades that are going to be more closely in line with the results from CGC. Now, if you stop this video to watch part number 2, or if you've already seen part number 2, you'll know that I was way off in the last one. I did okay on the first one, but then I was pretty far off in the last one, and that's okay. I'm okay with being wrong because it's how I learn. So let's go ahead right now and take a look at these last 4 books when they were raw.
All right, first up, we have The Uncanny X-Men, issue 282, the first cameo appearance of Bishop, but this is the one everybody wants because he's on the cover. I love this book. I think it's great looking, but I don't think it's perfect. There looks like there may be a little bit of a color-breaking spine tick there at the end of that guy's gun. Yeah, with this angle, it's basically impossible to miss. Books with color-breaking spine ticks that are otherwise perfect can potentially get a 9/8 still, but I think that color-breaking spine tick is too far gone. The rest of this book looks really, really good, however. I really like this cover. I think it's really awesome. And I think Bishop is a character with a lot of potential. So I think this is a good book to have. Ideally in a 9.8. In a 9.6, I think, is okay as well. The back of this book looks really good. This black section of this ad often shows flaws in this issue very clearly. You can see that it looks really, really good through here. You can see the way the light, not in the shadow part, but in the light part, the way it's interacting with the paper. You can see there aren't any creases. The light is nice and smooth and even. This spine looks good from the back. There doesn't appear to be color up there, right there. Looks like there's a little, color-breaking spine tick right there. Maybe another little one there at the top. It's a near perfect book with some super minor flaws. Because of the super minor flaws, I'm going to have to give it a 9.6. Next up, we have The Uncanny X-Men, issue 266. The first full appearance of Gambit. There's a lot of debate about what should and shouldn't be Gambit's first full appearance. I'll tell you the story, I guess, for those of you who don't know, because otherwise this book looks really, really good, so good luck finding any flaws with it. So book was supposed to come out first. This was the main X-Men storyline, but X-Men Annual 14 came out about 3 weeks before this. But story-wise, this was supposed to come out first. It was a writing, publishing, scheduling problem that they had. Because X-Men Annual 14 came out 3 weeks before this book, everybody's like, well, that's the first appearance of Gambit, and it's a full appearance, and I don't argue that it's a full appearance. It's definitely a full appearance. And therefore it should be the one that collectors go after for the first full appearance of Gambit. But because this book was meant to come out story chronology, I guess is the word, first, and it has this awesome cover, Gambit's not on the cover of the other one, this is the one collectors go after. There's definitely a lot of debate around this book, and I think it's legitimate and worth discussing. But what's not in debate is the grade. It's a 9.8. Next up, we have Avengers Annual Issue number 10. This is the first appearance, full or otherwise, of Rogue. This is a great book to have. Suffers a bit from a busy cover, not a great one, but Rogue is a great character. This book has problems. It has a lot of color breaking spine ticks. That corner is a little rough, but yeah, I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a lot of color breaking spine ticks there, and they are more than I would say on the minor side of it. I'd say they're typical. The rest of this book, though, however, looks pretty good. It looks like there might be a bit of a crease there on the edge between Iron Man and Peacemaker there. It's not Peacemaker. But he kind of looks like Peacemaker, doesn't he? Kind of got the helmet going. Yeah. But anyways, there's other damage on the front of this book worth considering. Back of this book looks really good. At first glance, I don't see any problems. Always seems to be a bit of a shame whenever I see the back of the book look so good and the front just not nearly as good. Like, oh, that's a shame. Because the back of this book looks really pretty good. It's not perfect, obviously. It looks like it has some discoloration in there. But it's a good looking back. The front is the problem. I'm going to give it an 8.0. And finally, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 194, the first appearance of Black Cat, a startling new villainess. This is a great book to have. I think this is a great one to spec on. And this one at first glance looks really, really good. You turn this corner, though, and you do start to see some problems. Some small color breaking spine ticks there. They're tough to see, but yeah, they're there. I counted maybe 4, 5, 6 of them. I call those minor. But they're there, and they're going to hurt the grade. This is the problem right there. I mean, look at all that. There's like somebody just handled that book so much, it just lifted all the color right off. That's just a bunch of fingerprints. It's very weird to me how that happens, truly. Like how much handling and what kind of oils have to be in someone's hand to lift up all of that ink. But oh well, so it goes. I would call that the major flaw in this book. Because otherwise it's a really nice looking copy. If CGC didn't care about fingerprints, and they should care about fingerprints, this book would be well into the 9s. But because of all those fingerprints, there's not a chance it's going to be in that category. Rest of the book looks really good. Once again, not too much to complain about here on the back. Almost a 9.8 caliber back. But that front's toast. It's going to be a 7.5, I guess.
All right, so now you have the opportunity to take a look at the 4 books that are left in this box when they were raw. You have assessed them for their damage, their flaws, anything that might impact the grade negatively. You have your best guess as to what you think the grade should be. I've shared with you my best guess as well. Now it's time to find out what the actual results are from CGC. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down on the floor. As I mentioned already, this box is already opened in previous videos, but I have been very, very careful not to take a look at the grades here. So I do not know what the results are as well, but I do have my guesses right here. So I'm going to reach in out of my peripheral vision, and I'm going to grab one at random. And I'm going to, I know which side, I can feel which side is the front, so I can keep that front side down and cover up the grades. And let's see, what's the first book here? Uncanny X-Men, issue number 282. This is that first appearance of Bishop. I expect we're going to see Bishop in the MCU. So I would say if you can find this book raw for 10 bucks or so, buy it. Buy it. I think this book has a future. But anyways, this is Octavio's graded copy. I guessed that this book would get a 9.6. Let's go ahead and see what the actual result from CGC is. All right, you've seen, I got a piece of cardboard on my finger. There we go. You've seen the results. Now it is my opportunity to see the results as well, and it's a 9.6. Okay, great. I am happy to be right from time to time. In the 9.0 and higher grade range is definitely the grade range where I have the most practice with testing my comic book grading skills. So I always really hope to get these grades right. That being said, I'm sometimes wrong. But I'm happy to be right this time. So I guessed a 9.6 and we got the 9.6. So far, so good there as far as that is concerned. Let's go ahead and see what's next in the box. Okay, that's the back. Nope, no, there we go, there we go. I almost flipped to the front side, covering up. And here we have, oh yes, this is one of the best X-Men books to have, hands down. This is Uncanny X-Men 266, the first appearance of Gambit. I guess depending on who you're talking to, it might be this book, it could be X-Men Annual 14. We can mix it up and debate that in the comments if you'd like. I welcome it. I fall into the X-Men 266 camp for this being the first full appearance because I believe in this instance story continuity and the intentions of the publishers, this was supposed to come out before Annual 14, trump or override the fact that X-Men Annual 14 came out first. So for me, this is the first full appearance. So enough of that, you want to know what the grade is. I thought this book was going to get a 9.8. I really hope it does because this is a sweet, sweet book in a 9.8. I really wish I had one. And I don't give out 9.8s lightly, so I hope to not be wrong about it. Let's see what the result is. All right. Is it the 9.8 I expected? Yes! Oh, that's awesome. I have this book in a 9.2. That was a copy that I bought when I was a kid. I thought it was going to be a higher grade, but it had a hidden crease on it. I also have this book in a 9.6 newsstand that I bought. I got a pretty good deal on it. I do not have it in a 9.8, so I may have to... No. This is Octavio's book. I'm really, really happy. This is a fantastic book to have in a 9.8. I am very, very stoked for Octavio and this book. So nice. So rad. Congratulations. All right, and congratulations to me, I guess, are in order, because so far I'm 2 for 2 in this video. Let's see if I can keep that up. Let me go ahead and keep this face down. Cover up the grades, and let me see, which book is this? Oh, my pinky's stuck. Okay. Yes, more X-Men goodness. I really am a big fan of the X-Men of this era. This is X-Men Annual, excuse me, not X-Men Annual, Avengers Annual issue number 10. This is the first appearance of Rogue, and so X-Men was on the brain because she becomes an X-Man eventually, but this was her first appearance in Avengers Annual 10. Now, this is one that is in a range that I have been wrong with a lot recently. I thought that this was going to get an 8.0, and a lot of my 8.0 guesses these days have more fallen into the 9.0 or 9.2 range. So I almost expect that to be the case, but I'm going to stick with my guess of 8.0. Let's see what the actual results are. Boom. Okay. Did it get the 8.0 or did it get more into kind of like the 9.2 where I have begun to adjust my grading skills? 7.5. Wow. Okay, so it's much closer to the 8.0 that I guessed. So the 8.0 was a truer guess. I was only off by 1 grade increment, so that's not so bad. I always want to be wrong with a grade that is lower than the final result, but something sneaky must have happened, and I must have thought it would be an 8.0, but there must have been some kind of sneaky additional damage there that put it into the 7.5 category. We'll throw up the grader's notes here. Maybe they'll lead us to some kind of hint as to why it got the grade that it did. But once again, I call this a win. If I'm off by 1 grade increment, I absolutely consider that to be a successful guess on my part. And so let's go ahead and set that off to the side. As always, I invite all of you to put your guesses for these books down in the comments. It doesn't matter how wrong you are. I'm not gonna judge you, and nobody else should, because we're all here to learn. So throw your guesses down in the comments, and we can have a dialogue about, like, wow, I was really off, but I learned something, or wow, I nailed it. Good for me, or wow, I was really off. They don't know what they're doing over at CGC, which is generally what most people say when they don't get the grades that they were expecting. And then finally, we're done with the X-Men books for this submission. We have an Amazing Spider-Man book, Amazing Spider-Man issue 194. This is the first appearance of the Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. Yeah, Felicia Hardy, right? Am I getting that right? Yes. Okay, great. So, Amazing Spider-Man 194, I guessed, would be a 7.5. So let's see what the actual results are. All right, you've seen it. I'd really like to end this video having been at least very, very close, or if not nailing most of these books in this submission. It would feel good to get most of them right. Let's see what I got. 7.5. Great. So I nailed this grade perfectly. And, you know, I'm not necessarily like excited about the 7.5, but I'm excited that I assessed the book correctly, and that's really, really important. It's really, really important to me, because I don't want to send books to CGC that I expect to get a 7.5 and they come back like a 4.0 or something, because odds are if I do that, it means I've lost money, and I don't like losing money. So I like being able to assess my grades accurately. So I'm very happy to say that in this video, at least, I got 3 of the 4 books exactly correct, with one of the books being off just by 1 grade increment. So I would call today's video a success. But as always, like I said, put down in the comments what your guesses were. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can't learn something through a dialogue with each other in the comments section. If you like this video, likes are appreciated by me, and if you want more opportunities to test your comic book grading skills, I have a lot of this content on this channel. It's been very valuable to me. I hope it's valuable to you. If you're not already subscribed, I invite you to do so. All right, that's it. As always, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for watching this video. And thank you to Octavio once again for making his books available to all of us. I'll see you in the next one.